Hello everyone. Today I would bring to everyone a story of a beautiful girl looking for a friend for her husband, titled The Kind Wife. Our main actress was described as a wife who was both good at being a housewife and a businesswoman. She could even beat the thief, fight the delinquent, extremely almighty. Over the years, she and her husband Ye Rim had worked hard and saved a lot of money. But the life in the city was so tiring, so they wanted to move to a countryside. By then the two of them were bored with city life. So they bought a lavish mansion in the countryside. I had to say, if you want to change houses in China, you had to work for 10 or 20 years. Buying a 70-year-old house was also considered to make your family proud. Villas were truly a lifelong dream. However, Ye Rim seemed to have been taken in by an evil real estate agent. Because in this house there was also a fruit garden. The soil had been contaminated because of heavy industry wastewater. Not even an ant was left, so no matter what, he woke up early to cultivate. But he didn't harvest anything. Looking at the amount of money saved in the house was not much left. The days of not sitting still were about to end. The skills of the couple cannot be promoted in the countryside. Ye Rim was so depressed. The thing that annoyed him the most was his wife So Yeon, who based from a city. She was very welcomed by the old men here. They always talked to her. Although he knew that his faithful wife would not have an affair. But he was not comfortable seeing his wife talking with those men. So Yeon realized her husband's worries. She suggested lending room because their villa was huge. This was to reduce the burden on the family. She acted right away. She started cleaning the mansion inside out. Then she took a photo and posted it on the room rental website. Not long after, someone responded. Ye Rim still didn't agree to the rental at first. But as soon as he heard that the tenant was a beautiful girl, he immediately smiled. Wow, we need to consider this man. Ye Rim then drove to pick up the guests. When he arrived at the appointed place, he seemed to see a familiar face. Wasn't that person his ex-girlfriend? Ye Rim panicked and pretended to pass by. There was a mess in his head. He thought that he must have realized the wrong person, then he didn't go to pick her up anymore. Immediately when he went home, he saw that the guest had already arrived. The person was the ex-girlfriend he just met on the street, Hui Yi. Hui Yi was an internet novelist. She wrote, Love Diary, Let's Talk About It the Next Day. Cohabitation Days and College Student First Night Report. Hui Yi's novels were loved by many people after talking for a few minutes, so Yeon was very pleased with the girl's polite attitude. But Ye Rim was insecure. In the middle of the night, when Hui Yi finished taking a shower and coming out, Ye Rim wanted to took this opportunity to ask her a few questions for clarity. But he didn't expect that Hui Yi would throw down the towel in front of him and say, Your wife had just been drugged by me, she was unconscious. Tonight, let's review the old lesson together. Ye Rim was stunned and said, What did you want in the end? Then Hui Yi didn't say anything. She knelt down and took off Ye Rim's pants. Like that, how can a man bear it? His body seemed to be revived. He picked up Hui Yi and threw her in the bedroom. They started having sex. The gasps of the two of them echoed outside the room. But So Yeon, who was in a coma, didn't know anything. Turned out, Hui Yi used to be Ye Rim's subordinate. The relationship of two people was kind of friends with benefits. Love basically came from countless times the two kissed. Then they felt that they were matched and they moved on. Then why did Ye Rim leave her? That deep love, how could she give it up so easily? In fact, in the eyes of many people, love and marriage were two distinctly different things. Only after comprehensive screening could he identify his half. And Hui Yi was the dumped one. Ever since she was dumped by Ye Rim, she started writing love novels. She didn't know that she would get rich because of that. So then she both loved and hated Ye Rim. She wanted to find a chance to grab this guilty man. The next day, So Yeon went to a carpenter in the village to learn carpentry. The carpenter always liked this city woman. After all, the woman had that kind of aura. It was worth dying for her. After finishing her lesson that day, the carpenter sent her home. This scene was seen by Hui Yi, who was standing upstairs. She immediately came up with an idea. So that night went to the carpenter's place. He asked him if he wanted to make a business. Hui Yi would pay him to touch So Yeon. Then quickly had a relationship, then let her husband find out. This would break their marriage. When the carpenter heard it, he said, This was immoral, I wouldn't do it. But her offered a price that he couldn't refuse. Then Hui Yi started the first step of the plan. That day, while talking with So Yeon, she mentioned a passage from her new book. The content was that a female subordinate had an affair with her boss. As a result, this story was caught by the boss's pregnant wife. She was so angry that she had a miscarriage. As soon as Hui said that, it touched So Yeon's heart. It turned out a few years ago, So Yeon, who was pregnant, suddenly bleed while at home. She called Ye-rim but he didn't pick up. As a result, the child cannot be kept. When she was coming back from the hospital in great pain, she saw Ye-rim's back had a wound from being scratched by a woman. Apparently, her husband was having an affair. This was the pain she hid in her heart. But that day, Hui directly touched this pain. That night, So Yeon woke up from her dream, seeing Hui going out of the house. At this time, Ye-rim called her to say that he was at his friend's party, so he would be back late. As soon as she hung up the phone, So Yeon immediately felt insecure. But she still tried to be optimistic, trusting that her husband would not had an affair. So Yeon then went out for a walk around the nearby wheat fields. But while walking, she saw Hwa's clothes and Ye-rim's car as well. Finally, the scene that surprised her the most appeared. From a distance, Hwa was riding on Ye-rim like a princess riding a horse. So Yeon couldn't believe that she accidentally found her husband a lover. But then she didn't have the courage, and ran home quietly crying, pretending not to know anything. The next day, So Yeon was working as usual, washing clothes, cooking rice, cleaning the house. Yesterday's incident was like a nightmare for her. She wanted to forget everything. But Hwa took the initiative to talk. She said there was a man who came to her when she wanted to fool the most, and made her feel protected. At that time, she fell in love with that man, and gave him the most precious thing in her life. But then the man left her and married someone else. So Yeon heard that and realized that the man was Ye-rim. She didn't understand why Ye-rim wanted to marry her. Was it because I had virtue and knew how to take care of my family? A few days later, after the carpenter took the money from Hwa, started planning to talk with So Yeon. But this guy was really not high in EQ. He directly invited her on a date. Said that they just did normal things. For example, going out to eat spicy soup, going to the movies or something. So Yeon heard it and immediately realized what the other party's intentions were. She was very angry, said, "You men always talk about normal things. But have an affair behind someone else's back, is that normal?" Oh, he couldn't use that method to seduce the wife. Then, during contact, a deliberate physical touch must be effective. Then So Yeon left, leaving the carpenter with a sad face. He thought that his act was immoral. A few days later Hwa came up with another plan. She used the excuse of having a new boyfriend, took the carpenter to So Yeon's house for dinner. The two even pretended to took care of each other. Not only did So Yeon feel nauseous, it also made Ye-rim feel like he just bought a bike and someone else stole it. Actually, her purpose was to get revenge on Ye-rim for abandoning her. She also tried to see if Ye-rim really noticed her. The result was exactly what she wanted. Ye-rim was very interested in her, even asking if she had slept with this guy yet. But Hwa purposely didn't answer, but used her eyes to signal that she would had sex with him. Ye-rim was extremely angry but couldn't do anything. He thought that his girl would be stolen by someone else. Felt even more angry, then he went to his bedroom. Didn't care about his wife's period. He decisively took off her clothes and started rushing in like an animal. So Yeon's heart was already frozen. She found her husband only saw her as a tool to relieve herself. And the fact that he had an affair caused her to have a miscarriage. She suddenly bursted into tears. The next day, So Yeon was determined to take revenge on Ye-rim. After she finished her makeup, she went to the carpenter. "Say, don't you want me? I'm here, what were you waiting for?" And then she was about to take her clothes off. But the carpenter was confused. He pushed So Yeon away. After comforting her, sent her home. Before leaving, he also told her about the plan of Hwa, and told her that from then on, she didn't need to look for him anymore. Hwa saw the most important key to attracting So Yeon had failed, so she was angry. In the middle of the night, she went to the carpenter and went crazy with him. Turned out he had a crush on So Yeon. He didn't want to be someone else's pawn to harm the girl in his heart. Even if he was paid more, he wouldn't do it. Then he cursed Hwa that she was a side chick but still wanted to destroy other people's families. What a disgrace. After listening, Hwa went crazy. Mission failed. Now there was only hope for Ye-rim's love. She wanted to harm herself to force a divorce. Seeing this crazy girl cut her own wrist, the carpenter rushed to take her to the hospital, and sent a message to Ye-rim. At the same time, So Yeon was asking her husband, why did he marry her? Ye-rim read the message and immediately left. So Yeon asked where he was going. He said he went to the hospital to visit Hwa. So Yeon was heartbroken after listening to it. She took a knife and stabbed her husband. Then she put her undead husband into the coffin that she made herself. After cleaning up the scene, So Yeon went to the hospital to find Hwae. Said, "Ye Rim won't visit you, give up hope. Actually, you're just someone's toy." Hwae couldn't believe the person she loved would break up with her like that. She hurriedly called Ye Rim but no one picked up. Then received a breakup message from the other party. Hwae was so depressed. So Yeon completed her goal and satisfiedly left. It turned out that the message was sent by So Yeon from the carpenter. In the end of the story, Hwae jumped to her death because she was so depressed. So Yeon said coldly, "You killed my child, then it's right that you die. Now we're even." 2 days later, the villa welcomed the new guest. So Yeon was still doing housework as usual, enjoying life, but the main actor in this house had disappeared. He was buried underground forever. After watching the movie, I feel falling in love and getting married were two different things. But if you've decided to break up, so go out, enjoy. If the two of you should meet again, don't blush, don't redden your eyes either again.